And we are back to Let's Rap, sponsored by Nocturnal TV. First of all, I want to shout out my guy Sammer for being here today. Appreciate you being here. You could have been anywhere. You decided to spend some time with us. We appreciate you.
It's a pleasure to be here, bro.
First of all, we want to shout out, do some housekeeping, Alpha Pack Studios. Check out everything Alpha Pack, www.alphapackstudio.com or alphapackfinancial.com. There's so many different brands, but check that out as well. So let's start off with how you first got into just music in general. Who were your early influences and why you're doing what you're doing?
Well, I'm originally from the Middle East, right? Came to Canada 5 years ago. First ever hip-hop track I listened to was Tupac, Ghetto Gospel. I was a kid, right? And it just blew my mind how something that this guy was talking about maybe 10 years ago is still a thing, and I can still relate to it while I'm in a different part of the world. Ever since that, it's just been an obsession. And a lot of people in the Middle East right now, even today, are still very heavily influenced by 90s hip-hop.
Oh, really? Okay.
That's still a thing. If you listen to Arabic hip-hop right now, you see the aggression that 90s hip-hop had. Yeah. So in terms of influences, Pac is definitely the biggest influence. Today, obviously, Kendrick, J. Cole. I really like J.I.D. on Dreamville.
Okay.
I like that fast type of rap. I fuck with Tech 9 a lot. But yeah, that's pretty much the influence.
Your style, obviously you mentioned some artists. If they were to say break Sammer down to me, who are you?
I like to tell stories a lot. I like to tell the story of where I was and what it took for me to get here. In terms of storytelling, again, you see the Pac influences, the passion that he had, transferred onto the tracks and transferred onto the listeners. That's my goal. Try to add a little flow to it. Yeah, that's my style.
Also, people don't know you're an engineer. I just want you to kind of talk to us a little bit about the engineering world, how you even found that out that you were good at that.
This engineering thing actually happened not by choice, but because I had to. Back home, I didn't really have time and the money, for studio time. I had a friend of mine who just graduated Sound Engineering School, and he had just updated his setup and bought a new interface and microphone. So I bought his old crusty ass interface and microphone, both for $100 that I paid for in installments. Ever since then, it's just been, all right, I can't afford studio time. I'm just going to record at my house.
Right.
And then we're going to see what happens. Obviously, there's going to be a 3-year time where my sound sounded shitty as hell. As soon as I graduated, I studied nursing back in Lebanon, right? So yeah, I went studied nursing because my dad's your best option is to go to Canada or the States, and nurses, they're wanted there. So I studied nursing, graduated, and then I was like, all right, I did what you wanted me to do. Now I have this sort of a minimum paid job. I'm going to put myself through sound engineering music production school. Obviously, parents didn't really like that idea, but fuck it. So I went to school for it, and as soon as I graduated, I got the visa to come to Canada.
Nice.
So I got my diplomas there, and I packed all of my studio equipment at the time, and I just shipped it to Canada. Came here. Nobody was really hiring somebody who doesn't have Canadian experience.
Oh, okay.
That was a big struggle for the first year and a half of my life here. And I looked around, I was just okay, I have my studio equipment. Let me just put the word out. I can mix your tracks for you.
Right.
At that point, I knew the physics behind audio. I knew what I'm doing to a certain extent. And I just started, I didn't do no promo or nothing. I just started having people over, and I was just mixing and mastering their shit. And down the line, it became so popular that I didn't have time on my schedule. I was scheduling people 2 months in advance. And I was just mixing. And I really consider that as my training period. My ego shot up the roof as soon as I got my diploma when I graduated,
of course,
right?
Yeah. Leveled up.
Sound engineer.
Yeah, absolutely.
But looking back at the shit that I was doing back then, it was just this could have been better, because that was experience. You need the experience. It's not just the diploma that's going to dictate the shit. And yeah, so that was 2 years of experience mixing albums, singles, dealing with all sorts of artists. And that was the creation phase of who I am today in terms of mixing engineer.
So being an engineer, talk to your own process in your own music? Like, are you a hard critic on yourself when you do your own thing?
So one of the most difficult things was learning how to mix my own vocals, because everybody's their own worst critic, right? Listening to yourself on a voice note, sometimes you'd be like, all right, ooh, what the fuck was that? It took me a while. Definitely, like, a verse would go 16, 17 times in the booth, where I'd go re-record and re-record and re-record. I think it just made me better. It took more time. I feel like if I was just doing rap, I would have been further in my rapping career, but it's kind of slowed me down to really listen to the sound that I was doing, to the sound that I was making, and really focus on that. Yeah, I'm blessed to be able to mix my own shit, but it was definitely like a grind to get there.
Your beat selection, how do you go about that? Like, break down your process to us.
I play a bunch of beats without producing the beat or not. If it kind of speaks to me in a way, that sounds cliche as hell, sorry guys. But if I feel some type of way when I hear it, and it's just, the flow just gets like in my head, that's it. That's the beat I'm using.
Talk to us about one of your favorite singles, or so what. Let's just talk about your top two that you're like, yo, these are the ones that you gotta go listen to.
I want to say every song I make is dope as hell, but there are a few songs that I made across the years that still give me goosebumps. There was a song called Lay It Down, and that's basically talking about me as an artist in the Middle East, like literally looking at yourself thinking, I rap in English, there is no future for me here. And fuck, what am I doing with my life? And fuck, the government doesn't give a fuck about me. It's just that kind of mentality all put in one song. Every time I perform it, every time I hear it, it still gives me goosebumps. Another song that's about to be released.
Check that out, Lay It Down.
Lay It Down, it's out. Another song that's going to be released is called Walking on Glass. You know the big skyscrapers where you're walking and you're walking on actual glass and you can see everything under you, right? The producer sent me a beat pack, and one of the beats was called Walking on Thin Glass. It just gave me this image of me walking on a skyscraper, looking down, and that was the whole metaphor of shit. Right now, I feel like I'm up. I make decent money, I have a beautiful car, beautiful girlfriend, but at the same time, it's just like, I can see the fall, and that kind of triggered that song. Walking on Glass.
Well, check that out. And you said July. In July, that's coming out too. So you were talking to me a little bit about Cook Up Thursday. So tell the people a little about what that's about.
Cook Up Thursdays has been something where I wanted to see what Toronto has to offer. I wanted to work with as many artists as I could. Just basically feel the pulse of the city. I wanted to see how everybody was tackling this music thing. I have a studio in my own crib. I started inviting people every Thursday, where I would invite a producer, maybe two, and a bunch of artists. And it's like, okay, let's create something just from nothing, from scratch, and let's see where it goes. You're an artist. You're invited specifically here just to be you. Because the energy was always so positive, I believe we created amazing music.
So just in terms of those Cook Up Thursdays, can anybody join, or how do you go about choosing people to do that?
I really want everybody to join. I really think everybody has a certain sound, everybody has a message, everybody has something to offer. There's definitely a selection process, and I don't want to overcrowd the studio with like 18 different artists and we're only working on one song, where it just becomes hostile, ego comes in the way, and I try to keep it as like 4, maybe 5 people tops. If you say that you wanted to come, I listen to your music, I kind of see where you're heading in your direction in your music. I try to pick 3 different people that are gonna match your style of music. If you're a gangster rapper, it's not like I'm just gonna, bring you another gangster rapper to rap along with. It's just I'm gonna bring you another rapper to rap along with. I'm just not gonna bring you a pop singer.
Absolutely right.
To rap along with. It's not on pen and paper, like it's not written down or anything yet. It's just how I feel you would fit in with this community.
No, definitely, and that's dope, man. And even the fact that you're doing that, we talked about that off camera, just giving back to Toronto and helping out people. I think that's actually a big deal. So just in terms of like being an artist and being able to kind of engineer your own music, et cetera, marketing wise, like what's your marketing strategy? How do you kind of promote yourself? How do you get out there?
Consistency is key. That's the first, the most important thing. Obviously, it's way harder said than done. My last single I released 5 months ago. That's not good. For this year, for 2022, my plan is to release a single every month. That content is, first of all, going to trigger the algorithms of whether it's Instagram, whether it's YouTube, whatever it is, to like, okay, this guy is actually putting in work. Let's showcase him to other people. In terms of promo, you don't want to overflood the market with your music. You don't want to drop a single every week. Drop a single a month. That's all you need. A single a month. Create some kind of content. And there's the rule of 7. People listen to something, an audio clip, 10 to 15 seconds. 7 times, they're going to take action. Take that 15-second clip, play it over and over, put it over a picture of you, put it over a little video of you. Just show people, hey, listen, this is what I love to do. This is what I'm planning on doing. And here it is.
So now as we're just kind of wrapping up, I just wanted to, ask you, what can we look for in terms of your next steps, music, videos? Like, just shout out, let us know where we can find you, if you're doing any events, shows, everything.
Okay, so you can find me anywhere. Sounds Like Sammer. SoundsLikeSammer.com. Cop the merch if you want. If you don't want, that's cool.
Support, man. Support. Go support.
And in terms of music, if I stop making music today, I have enough music to release for a year at least. So thankfully, with my nose being blocked and me not being able to be in the booth right now, I have enough content to be still releasing. So I'm going to be releasing a single every month from now to the end of the year. It's going to be featuring a lot of different artists from Toronto. This song, I just released a song 2 weeks ago. It's called Obsessions.
Go check
Obsessions. We're going to perform it today, hopefully. And it's just a single every month. It's just me telling my story while I'm interacting with these beautiful artists from Toronto and showing you guys their sound and what they have to bring to the table.
That's dope, man. And what's your Instagram? So just
Sounds Like Sammer.
Sounds Like Sammer. So go hit the subscribe button.
Yes.
And then same thing with us. I am Mr. Nocturnal for everything Nocturnal.
Sorry. Can I say
yeah,
one thing?
Go right ahead.
I have to say this. Me and Mr. Nocturnal were talking about this a little earlier. Toronto is a beautiful place for artists. Don't let the media fool you. Everybody's gonna be talking about like artists. Everybody hates on different artists. Nobody wants to see you shine in this city. Nah, cap. There's a lot of artists that want to see you shine. There's a lot of artists that just want to work together and do something beautiful. Make sure to stick to this positive note.
Absolutely. That was amazing. I think
you.
that's dope. And that's a major key. At the end of the day, like I said, hit the subscribe button.
Yes,
Go to Nocturnal TV on Instagram, Nocturnal TV on YouTube. And we just, want to continue to promote great artists like this.
Thank you.
As he said, just continually helping push people in Toronto. We hope to see you soon. Thanks for tuning in. Like I always say, stay dangerous, but stay safe.
Hey.